Question 1. What type of electrical noise distortion is heavily introduced into the AC line by phase-controlled Triac dimming circuits? Abruptly turning on the device mid-cycle creates steep, sharp current steps that inject strong high-frequency switching harmonics back into the power lines. Question 2. What physical component is traditionally added in series with a Triac dimmer to suppress high-frequency line interference? A series iron or ferrite core choke inductor adds inductive reactance that rounds off the sharp edges of the switched current, filtering out unwanted radio frequency noise. Question 3. What alternative power control method switches the Triac only at 0 voltage points to completely eliminate switching harmonics? Zero-crossing synchronous switching, or burst firing, turns the device on and off exclusively when line voltage hits 0, completely eliminating sudden current spikes and switching noise. Question 4. Why is a standard synchronous zero-crossing burst firing circuit unsuited for dimming traditional incandescent or LED lights? Because entire multi-cycle blocks are skipped to modulate power, the long gaps cause light bulbs to flash and pulse with an annoying, highly visible low-frequency flicker. Question 5. What happens to the internal power dissipation of a Triac as the root mean square load current through MT1 and MT2 increases? Every conducting semiconductor features a baseline forward conduction voltage drop. As load current scales up, this drop creates proportional waste heat that must be safely managed. Question 6. When testing a completely healthy, unpowered Triac with a digital multimeter in resistance mode, what should the reading between MT1 and MT2 be? Under normal unpowered conditions, the internal thyristors block conduction, meaning the resistance across main terminals 1 and 2 must read as an absolute infinite open circuit. Question 7. What resistance profile indicates that a Triac has suffered a typical, catastrophic electrical overstress failure? When localized heat or overvoltage punch through the thin silicon wafers, the structural layers melt and fuse together, leaving a permanent short circuit between the main terminals. Question 8. What property is measured by the thermal resistance parameter of a power Triac package? Junction-to-case thermal resistance tracks how efficiently heat flows out from the active internal silicon die into the outer metal tab for transfer to an attached heatsink. Question 9. Why is a standard Triac fundamentally incapable of regulating power in high-frequency DC-to-DC converter systems? Thyristors latch on once triggered. Without an alternate commutation network or a natural AC line zero crossing to reverse the bias, a Triac in a DC loop will lock on indefinitely. What electrical safety component is commonly used to protect sensitive Triac gates from accidental high-voltage line surges? Metal oxide varistors, or MOVs, clamp over voltage spikes, safely diverting high-energy line surges away from the delicate gate junctions of the switching thyristor.